Happy Friday, everyone. Friday, Tryday Friday, any of the above, all of the above. That's what I say. So happy Friday afternoon. I am Kesti, Creative Director here at Fun Stampers Journey. And we try to come to you every Friday afternoon, just kind of as a great segue into the weekend. Try something new. Hopefully we encourage you to try something new as you begin your fun crafting for the weekend. At least I hope you're going to be doing some crafting over the weekend. I certainly plan to. I think that'll be so much fun. So again, Tryday Friday, that's what it's all about. And truly, the technique that I'm going to share with you today, I very much just tried it for the first time this morning. So I have prepped up some things, so I can't say I'm trying it blind right now, but it'll be a fun experience, I think, for both of us. So this technique that we're going to share today is all about coloring, and I've shared some coloring tips and tricks before, but this is about coloring on darker cardstock. It's kind of a thing I've seen all around the internets and on the Pinterest and all those things. Started to see more and more cards popping up that have darker cardstocks, and then different artists are taking different mediums and coloring on top, whether it's paint, watercolors. In this case, what I'm going to be trying, because it looks like it's probably the easiest, is doing colored pencil on top of darker cardstock. So super excited to share that with you, and I am going to be using our Color Burst pencil. So let's take a look at what we've got going here. We've got our Color Burst pencils right here, and by the way, if you have not used our pencils, they're absolutely fabulous. They have a really nice creamy core inside the barrel. It's a nice cedar barrel, and they just lay on the color beautifully no matter what color cardstock. So I've already pulled some out, but you can see mine are pretty well loved. Another thing that I do not do real often is sharpen my pencils really sharp. I may trim some of, again, that cedar barrel down a little bit, but I like to keep mine, I guess you would call it fairly blunt on the ends for most of them, because I feel like it's going to lay that color down nice, and I'll show that to you a little bit more as we go along. But one other thing to share with you, as you know, those of you familiar with Fun Stampers Journey know that we have an amazing color palette, and we formulated some different formulas here that will match all of the colors that we have in our color palette. The pencils are all numbered, so that, in other words, they don't have individual color names on them. They just have numbers. So we've kind of tried to help you out by putting this nice little chart on the top of the tin. So pretty cool. So for this technique that I'm going to do, I only picked really 3 colors that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I do have this green for my little leaves, but I've got 2 shades of pink, and as a matter of fact, their colors number 4 and 5. And then I've got my white pencil, which is 48. And I don't know, maybe where I can get in here, I'll kind of move this paper a little bit. This really is honestly how my pencils, I love to have them. I love to have them just a little bit on the more blunt side so I can lay down that color really nice. So those of you who are always worried about sharpening your pencils, don't worry about it. Don't fuss with them. When they're a little well loved like this, they really perform beautifully. So when I thought about doing some coloring on the darker cardstock, I thought, you know what, an easy way, and again, a way that I had seen on some different artists do, is to do embossing first. So that does 2 things to help me out. Number one, it gives me a nice wide guide to, you know, have my coloring framed in by, because that embossed line is of course typically heavier than a stamped line. And then also because you can get embossing powders in all kinds of different colors. We have a lot of different fun colors here at Fun Stampers Journey. It really just gives me, you know, a good placement, a good outline for my project. So this is Denim Days cardstock. So it's definitely pretty much our darkest blue we have. We also have a color called Huckleberry that's a little more purpley blue, but I absolutely love Denim Days. It's like the good classic navy. Absolutely love it. And again, I've got my pencils right here, but let me share the stamp set I stamped because I pre-did this. This particular one is called Beauty Blooms. So just love it. It's kind of got a really fun, like, little stitched look for the edges. Super fun. And I like this stamp because it's got a lot of the, you know, real estate here for me to color. I think that you'll be able to see the effect quite good. I did try another stamp, which I'll share with you at the end of the video. Because like I said, it's all about Tryday Friday. So when I first did this technique, I went ahead and added color directly to the bloom, and I'm going to also share my, I guess it's not a mistake, but I'll share the one that I did first, very first thing this morning, and then I found out a little bit better way to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my white colored pencil, and I'm just going to come in here, and again, because it's not super sharp, it's going to just lay down some of the nice white pencil down, and I'm going right over my embossed pieces, which are kind of like these little, you know, accent pieces in here. And I'm just laying down a nice coat of white all over my petals. And again, coming right down. I can go right over that embossing and it really doesn't, you know, affect anything. And I won't do all the flowers for you. I'm going to do this one here so I can show you the main technique. But what this white pencil does is basically almost kind of create a little bit of a block. So it's going to block out some of that blue cardstock color. These flowers are not going to be white in the end, as you will soon see. Because you saw I had my pink pencils out, right? So I'm not pressing super hard. I'm gonna say I've got probably like a medium pressure here. And I'm kind of doing a nice circular motion. I don't want hard streaks, you know, I don't want hard lines like this in my flower. I'm just kind of keeping my wrist loose and just kind of moving that pencil all around there. So I feel like this should be like coloring for dummies or something, because look, that line is so nice and thick. I love it. I just really can't go wrong just by coloring these guys in. So super fun. Now, like I said, I've got 2 pink pencils. I'm going to come in with my little bit lighter pencil first. So that's another tip I would say. Just start with your lighter colors and move into your darker. So now I'm just coming right on top of that white. And because the white is kind of blocked out some of that blue from the cardstock peeping through, it really starts to look pink right away. Whereas if I went straight from here, it wouldn't be quite as brilliant. I'll do a couple more petals here to show you. Don't the pencils blend really pretty? Like I said, they have a nice creamy core, so the colors are going to really blend nice. Just sort of vaguely lightens up my pink pencil, the white underneath, but mostly you're seeing the white. And see, again, I can go right over that embossed part, and it's not even going to matter. Okay, so far, pretty. If we kind of zoom out a little bit, Roy, we can see that, you know, definitely we've changed the look of that flower. These are my empty ones, which, by the way, are kind of pretty, aren't they? But now it's kind of fun adding that color. Now when I add the next darker pink, it, I think, really starts to come to life. Because now I'm going to take this darker pink and I'm just going to kind of go around the edges of the petal. And now I'm putting a little bit more pressure in. And so I'm going to kind of come in here where some of that blue cardstock is still peeking through. And then down toward the center of the flower. And again, if I go on top of the embossing a little bit, it's totally fine. Again, kind of coming around the edge. Hopefully it's not totally annoying to watch someone else color. I do kind of move my image around as I color so I can just get in to all the little cracks and crevices of the embossing powder. So you guys are kind of seeing it. So again, because now I have the darker pink accents, it's just got a little bit more depth, a little bit more fun. Now I can come in with that lighter pink. And again, because the colored pencils can layer so well, I can come on top and just, again, kind of smooth that out, kind of add another little layer of pink color, and just kind of blend them all together. So now you're really starting to see the pink pop out. If I really wanted to get super picky, I could grab one of our little blending sticks, which we sell. I didn't even grab one here because honestly I didn't do it on my original project. But those can kind of help blend the colored pencil a little bit more. But super fun. I'm really starting to see how the pink pops out of that blue cardstock. And again, if I can turn it a little bit, I'm not sure where I'm catching the light. Maybe a little bit right there. Oh, there we go. So you can see, kind of see how the wax in the pencil is kind of laid down and just giving it a little bit of a gleam. Super pretty. Okay, so do you guys want to see? I do have to laugh. Do you want to see the first one I did? The first one I did this morning? This is the one where I did not put white pencil first. So let's take a look and you can see what it looks like. Now Miss Lynn was so kind. She was in here looking at it and she really liked it. And again, I don't dislike this, but I thought it was pretty funny because what I actually did first was I used our yellow pencils. So yeah, you guys know what's happening, right? As soon as I laid the yellow pencil onto the blue cardstock, my flowers turned green. So that was because I didn't lay any of the white pencil first. So, I mean, green flowers are okay, I guess. I guess you don't really see a whole lot of green flowers out there. Mainly because all the leaves and the foliage is green, right? We more often see flowers, obviously, in the pinks and the peaches and even the whites and the creams. But, yeah, my flowers turned out kind of green. So I thought, you know what, I might as well share it with you because I think it's kind of funny. And then I actually did use a really pale blue. I started kind of going in the background, you know, wondering if I would like that. But I didn't end up liking putting anything behind the flowers because I think they pop so nicely against the blue cardstock, right? Am I right? So if you guys are out there, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. So the one thing I did do when I went to go ahead and finish this image was I just took one of our green pencils. This happens to be number 27. And then I just went ahead and went actually right over this white embossing. Just kind of rather lightly. And then I just added a little bit of color to these leaves. In fact, I kind of, you know, moved it around with my finger a little bit. It doesn't stick 100% to the embossing powder, but I think it gives you that nice little hint of green. Just a little bit gleaming through the leaves. So, what do you guys think? Kind of fun, right? It kind of pops. Now, I think you're really going to get the ooh-ah factor, or hopefully you will, in the comments. And again, whether you're watching us on Facebook Live or whether you're watching us on YouTube or wherever you're joining us from, again, welcome to Tryday Friday. We're so happy you're here. If you are on YouTube, think about subscribing so you'll never miss one of our live videos here. But if you do leave a comment, super fun, check it out. So let's see the finished project here, and I have one more to show you after that. So I'll kind of swoop these aside, but now I think I'll get a nice ooh, ah. But again, I will check the comments later and respond to any questions you have. But I just went ahead and stamped that same stamp, again, from Beauty Blooms. I just stamped it a couple more times, you know, right around the edges after I had finished coloring the one flower. And I thought, you know, pretty fun. I think that pink really pops out. And maybe I can hold it a little bit. And you can see that green popping out on the leaves too. Oh yeah, there we go, Rye. Really nice. So super sweet. I do have a little challenge for you for the sentiment. I love the sentiment, and it is gold embossed. You can see the gold embossing there. Gleam, gleam, gleam. I also use a few of our little friendship sequins. But does anyone want to guess where the sentiment came from? It's really an oddball stamp set, I have to tell you that. It's pretty fun. Let me show you. It is from our, funnily enough, I Believe stamp set, but check it out. This actually is kind of one of our, you know, nerdy stamp sets that we have in our masculine section. But you see this sentiment right here? I believe in you. And of course it says and UFOs, which is pretty funny. But I only wanted the I believe in you, so I went ahead and I just masked that little part off, the part that says and UFOs. And I got my I believe in you sentiment, which I think is a great, encouraging, really fun sentiment to send to somebody, just to say, you know, that, hey, whether you're having problems or whether you're facing a challenge, just to let someone know that I believe in you. So cute. Okay, so I did one other card that I'm going to share with you real quick. And this time the stamp set I used was our Desert Greetings. So you can see that this one has some of these fun little roses, and that's what I used for this next card. And I'm not going to walk you through it, I'm just going to show you the finished card. But just to keep in mind that any of our sets we have that you have coloring on them, and they definitely don't have to be all flowers. They can be anything that you color in to use this technique. The flowers are gorgeous, I have to say, but look at your stamp sets with a fresh eye and see if you can use this technique on anything else. Because here is this finished project. And this one I embossed a little bit different. Instead of the white embossing powder like this guy, I used gold embossing powder. So again, a lot of the gold really shines through. There wasn't a ton of room for coloring, but I think I got some pretty blues and aquas in there. Ooh, there we go. That's a good angle. So good. Can you guys see that? So again, did the gold embossing, and this time instead of the navy paper, I used our Riverstone, which is a lovely, lovely gray. Ooh, yeah, there we go. It's like one of those cards. Dun, 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 dun. holographic or something, right? So the gold embossing powder, which I have right here, is just our normal gold embossing powder. And then I just took some shades of kind of blues and teals and colored those roses. So I was pretty happy with that, but I actually think I like this one better. I guess maybe it's just my personality where it's like, oh, I love this one because it's so dramatic. But this has got its own subtle beauty, which I really like too. And I thought this was a really sweet sentiment for Valentine's Day or any day. And that is a little tiny sentiment off of our Chosen Family stamp set. You can see it way down at the bottom. A little tiny P.S. I love you. Just a sweet. This has actually got great sentiments, this whole stamp set. I love it. I use it a lot. But again, the little tiny P.S. I love you. So fun. What do you guys think of that Tryday Friday? I didn't even really show you how to put the whole cards together, but you guys got that. Simple mats, couple little sequins that don't take much to finish them because really it's all about the drama of the coloring. So what do you think? Is it something you guys want to try? I certainly hope you do because that's what Tryday Friday is all about. So grab any of your darker color cardstocks, do some embossing, try different colors, gold, white, rose gold, any of those colors, even black might be pretty, you know, depending on if it was a gray cardstock or whatever. But definitely try it out. Tag us at Fun Stampers Journey. We love to check out your projects. Definitely go online if you have any questions about any of the products. And of course, as always, you can visit us at funstampersjourney.com. Check out our gallery too while you're there. We've got some great projects in there. So have a fantastic weekend. Can't wait to talk to you again. And happy Friday.